You know, year of blessing.
And them again.
We definitely are going to get started because the list is long. So, Donnie, what are some of the things you are grateful for 2023?
I am grateful for some of the courses that I did at work. You know, just thinking about career-wise, at the start of the year, you're not sure exactly, well, sometimes you're not sure exactly what you want to accomplish, but I got some tasks that I had to do, and there were some courses that I needed to complete, and they were very, very instrumental to my development overall, and I can say I'm better prepared for next year.
And you know, I too have taken some courses. In fact, one of my courses that I did, I actually was one of the high scoring persons for that course. But outside of that, I also have a great career move this year because one of my personal goals when I re-entered hospitality in Jamaica back in 2019, I had told myself that I want to be as rounded as possible as a quality manager. And this year was like the icing on the cake because I had a number of things to unpack. Like I know, you know, my background is environmental health, food safety, and all these things. But then I really topped it all off this year with sustainability. And through the work I was able to do within my hotel group, we were actually able to get the hotel certified before I left. So that was something I'm grateful for. So yes, I felt that when I left hospitality, I left with a wealth of experience, even though I'm not so old, I know. I left with a wealth of experience, and I thought that definitely I could have definitely gone to the next level with what I had. So yay to career moves, you know, for those persons who are out there. I'm sure you too have something about your career that you're celebrating. So if you do, please drop it in the comments. We would love to hear it.
And as you talk about experience, you know, sometimes you're talking about career moves and persons, they aren't going after what they want because they don't have necessarily the experience in certain things. For me, at work, I was thrust into a role. I had no experience in it. And, you know, in Jamaica, in terms of say, pressure bust pipe, I was forced to grow and develop. Yes, I made mistakes. But now I can say that through all of that, I have found my voice. I can better lead in those tasks. And I can see where I have grown tremendously in terms of what that specific role is. And I can better teach others in terms of what to do, what not to do. Definitely growth.
And you know, it's kind of taking me to my second one because when we talk about the experience, what I did know was that I wanted to experience something different. You know my story where I asked for cross train, didn't get the opportunity to cross train, so I launched out, threw my nets out, and I fished in a new job. I got a new job, and most interestingly, it is a field in which I don't have a lot of experience, but I was knowledgeable based on what I would have studied and decided that, hey, I'm just going to go out there and just step right in and just learn all I had to learn about this. So yes, I got a new job, and you know, with that new job came relocation. It was like, funny enough, you know, I was kind of going through something serious at the time. And it was one day after it was all over, and I was kind of happy that we had wrapped this up and it had ended. It was a day later I got offer letter in the email that I got this new job. And when I saw the offer letter date and the potential start date, I pretty much had 3 weeks to move. And no guys, I was moving across the island. I was flying right out, and yes, it came with her.
Yes, so definitely, it goes without saying. Just hearing that my best friend was going to be just 20 minutes away by flight.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Because that 20 minutes, it sounds like a drive, but
20
no.
minutes by flight, but still, it's so much different when you're basically in the same island. It's the same island, but just different
locations.
locations.
And
that definitely was a, almost like a cap
Just to put it in
for my
context
year.
for you, pretty much, 3/4 of my friends, they left me. But at least I relocate with one. Don't worry, to the other people, I'll see you soon. Yes, so
that
I was
definitely has been a blessing.
I was happy for the relocation too, because it not only did a lot for me and my mental space that I was trying to really carry at the time, but the fact that my daughter I was at peace with what was happening for my daughter, and that was something that I was really grateful for, because there were parts of me that was a little worried and concerned about how things were going, and how I really wanted her to grow, what I really wanted her to be exposed to. But I'm happy that she is happy, she is loving it. I mean, she's young, she don't really understand what a move is, but she's able to make friends, and we're able to find good environments for her that is able to keep her stable. So I've relocated, I've made new friends, I have great co-workers. It's just so amazing how we sit, we laugh, it just feels like another family again. And I'm just happy for the fact that there is so much that came with the relocation that y'all can't even understand. Those who follow me on Instagram would know.
Not to mention, I bet it has improved some things financially.
Yes. That is another important part, and that's one of the greatest things I'm grateful for this year as well too. You remember when I started Move Makers last year, and I did the net worth thing?
Yes,
My net worth was negative. I went through this round of Move Makers.
I have been in both.
Like
Both rounds.
This round of Move Makers, it was evident that there were huge improvements, but I was still a little bit on the lower end, still in negative, but not so as crazy as when we just started. But one of the greatest thing is that I was able to uplift myself financially, and that helped a lot in improving my net worth. And of course, my peace of mind too, because there are certain things that I used to have to worry about that I don't have to worry about anymore. And I mean, you have to be one of my closest friends to really hear the story of what happened here since I got here. But yes, God has been good to me, and I have accepted that this is His season of saying, girl, you need to rest, because it has not been an easy road, but I'm grateful for where I am as a result of that. Being financially prudent, and also being able to being financially able is a very good thing to have. Like, everybody's goal is financial security. Like, whose goal isn't it?
So as you've spoken about being able to increase your net worth, generally increase your net worth, I must say that I was able to clear majority of my debts. That has been something that I have been stressing about.
Well, if it should be a Move Maker, me kind of know, but yeah.
But the Move Maker program also helped me to focus in terms of what I needed to achieve. The information is out there. The information in what to do to improve your financial goals is out there. And sometimes it's just to get a coach or a mentor, to help you along the way, because we don't know all the information. We can't know all the information. And it helped to put some things into perspective. A lot of the times we don't realize where our money is going. And sometimes we have the money, we have it. It's just what we're doing with it.
We could talk about some of the strategies from Move Maker, but I think talking about that, guys, Move Makers, we are launching another round in January, and you definitely need to be a part of it. There's information on my website, which is freshly launched, and you can definitely see and get more details as to how you can sign up.
And I'm sure she'll leave the link
in the bio
in the description box below.
I'll leave it in the description box. I'll also leave the link for my Instagram. Yeah, you'll know.
And so, because I have cleared quite a bit of my debt, I can now focus more on wealth building, which definitely you'll learn through your mentor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure too that actually paved the way Remember you start travel this year?
Oh yeah.
You start with a tourist girl.
Look. When you were growing up, or when I was growing up, at least I can speak for myself. You think about what you want to do with your life, and one of the things was to travel. But all the times, you leave school, you go to university, you get a job, and then you see the realities. And sometimes those dreams go out the way. But guess what? I became focused through mentorship and through better money management. And I was able to take my first solo trip.
Welcome to the solo trip club.
So I went to Bahamas.
That's how I go.
I went to Bahamas this last November, and I must say it was definitely a wonderful trip. Definitely learned a lot, and I am planning my next trip. Yeah.
It's often so cool when you really are able to just shake off some of those things and just get to where you need to be. And whilst we're even on the point of the Move Makers program, I'm grateful. One of the key things I'm grateful for is that most of my friends and even those Move Makers that are part of the movement, they were able to level up in key ways. I mean, you cleared debt, you went on solo trip, your business was boosted.
Yes.
I had Move Makers who started businesses. There was one move maker in particular who, shortly in the program, she had to change jobs, or she changed jobs because when we realized day one that this wasn't cutting it, it was like a wake up call for her that, hey, this really isn't cutting it. And to date, because we had move makers back in January, she's on her third job change for the year. But I know it kind of look weird, but guess what? Every job is more benefits, more pay, and better capacities. So she has been able to just change into what, is a second true. Second answer, but she has been able to change into what she wants for herself and more of where she needs to be. And I'm just so proud of my move makers and the moves they've been making, because I tell you, man, we see the progress, we see the growth, and it's just amazing. And not only within move makers, one of the things I've noticed, so if when you start working on the mindset and you start leveling up, you're going to come across a lot of great minds. And I think I was able to do that, and that's another thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the people who really came into my life this year, whether they came in the form of mentors, because yes, mentors need mentors too. Because I've had some great mentors that I've met. I've gone to some real sessions with some real people. I tell them, the people that walk in your life, everything change up, but I mean, it's a positive change, of course. I've had those, and then another good part about having those too is the fact that I was able to start making friends with some of the people that I really would love to be friends with. And these are people who they really level up your crowd. You can learn from them and you can grow, and I'm just grateful for the fact that I have some amazing people in my life. If I don't call your name, don't worry yourself, but thank you. You have been amazing, and I'm happy that you're my friend because I can learn from you and I can grow.
So I'm going to piggyback on some of the points that you made. Other persons or mentees who were in, or are probably going to continue to be in the Move Maker group, of them starting businesses. I was able to improve my cake decorating skills and to start a side hustle. And I can actively see, you see those reels on TikTok of either where you were and where you are now, or, oh, I did that. I can actively see, hey, you did that.
Nice.
And I'm definitely proud of that. And also where it came to specifically a particular tenet of our Move Maker group, which is getting rid of the scarcity mindset. That scarcity mindset where you're like, oh, I don't have the money, so I can't do that. And some of the things are so important. For instance, getting personal here, I have struggled with back pain for a little while. And I would ignore it because I'm like, oh gosh, this is going to take so much money. I don't have the time. And I said, you know what? Whatever I need to do, I need to improve my health. And so I got me a chiropractor, and I can say the best thing I've done in quite a little while, because I can say through that therapy, it's not just physiotherapy, but through that I can say I am better managing my back pain. And anyone knows back pain can be very debilitating. That word. Debilitating, right? And the other thing is improving my mental health.
Yeah,
I got me a therapist.
welcome to the club.
And anyone who looks down on therapy, I'm sorry. You haven't got yourself a therapist yet.
Funny enough.
It has done so much for me.
Funny enough, as you're grateful that you started therapy, I think this is probably not one of those things I'm not so grateful for. My therapist and we had to separate because of the move, and I still miss my therapist because, it was just so amazing to have somebody who was unbiased, just to listen to you and just give their objective opinion, or just have you identify key aspects of you. But on the flip side, I'm grateful that I actually made a lot of strides this year through therapy. You spoke about letting go of the scarcity mindset. I too had to let go of that. And that was something that I kind of struggled with for a while, and every now and again it kind of raised its ugly head, and I have to be like, keep it in check, it doesn't happen. But my therapist kind of helped me this year, because at the start of last year, it was between him and my financial advisor that helped me to recognize that I'm not a good friend. I wouldn't even say I'm not a good friend, but I'm a poor communicator, and it kind of it affects my friendships and my relationships. And between both of them, I realized after talking more with my therapist that there are two things that were really holding back my relationships, and it was my fear of failure, once, and just the scarcity mindset, which kind of manifested in the fact that I, didn't want to feel as if person were abandoning me, kind of having abandonment type of things. And I was able to address those. And this day and age, I tell you, man, therapy has done wonders for me. And as she said, if you look down at therapy, we're sorry for you. You probably need some therapy. But of course, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do that, because it did help. And once we're talking about therapy, one of the greatest things about getting your mindset in check is that it also helps to get your body in check. And this year, whilst we're even talking about the idea of letting go of the scarcity mindset, and you were able to get a chiropractor, I had to invest in myself financially so I could eat right. And for me, I started out the year, because I thought I closed the year. Closed last year, learning that I was pre-diabetic. I started out the year out of the pre-diabetic zone. So anybody would know me, remember that last year was a little bit, yes, and everything, because I was doing a lot of work on that, but I was able to take charge of my health that way. I kept up my physical exercise, except for the fact that I kind of had a long hiatus, which I'm now back on track with. I miss my trainer too. I know he's watching. So Romain, yes, I miss you. My two Romains, my therapist and my trainer. It's just so interesting how things have changed, and I'm happy that I've kept on that. And just exercise, you talk about exercise and diet, and just being mentally there is something that has done wonders for my health. And I'm grateful for the fact that I was able to put a lot of effort on that this year.
Okay. I'm wondering if I should go back to this. In terms of mental health, this is something that I've struggled with for a little while. We won't go into details, but I have to say I am grateful for being able to forgive my dad. And it's not an easy thing. It's something that I definitely have struggled with throughout the year. And when I really think about it, how even the forgiveness came about. Do we want to go into this story?
Nah.
Okay, that's a different story for a different time.
Different story for a different day.
Like there's a lot in terms of the background, not in terms of what happened with dad, but how the forgiveness even came about. Yeah. But definitely.
And funny enough, once you're on the point of forgiveness, it was this year when I had to come face to face with someone from my past or some people from my past, I recognized that I wasn't 100% there with forgiveness. And, you know, being able to just redirect the energy of the fact that, yes, you've hurt me, and being able to just redirect that energy to the fact that thank you for hurting me, because it was as a result of you hurting me, I was able to heal and actually be a better woman today. That is something I have been grateful for, or I was grateful for. That I've now kind of, as a result of that experience, to see, I'm now seeing forgiveness in a different light. Because for me, it's now a case of, not only do I forgive you, but I'm just grateful for the fact that you were once here and, you know, things were different, and now you're back here and things are way different. So I can look past what people have done to me and just move on differently to say, hey, you know, I'm better than that now. Or another important part that I always say, I always look at the part that I play in my own suffering. So I'm now able to address things from that perspective. And, you know, I'm happy you hit on the point of forgiving your dad, because one of the things I'm grateful for was the fact that some of our family members, as always, they've just had amazing things happen to them this year, and we were able to just share in it. You know, I'm proud because I've seen my relatives, you know, some of my relatives gone to own more real estate, some people owning more houses, some people doing more as it relates to work, you know, changing jobs, doing more as it relates to traveling. I have some frequent travelers right now where they're Jamaica, but I'm not saying nothing to them. And them turn frequent travelers, and I'm so happy for them. I've had, like, you know, my nephew this year, his gift was a brand new car, and, you know, I'm just so proud of how far some of my family members have come, you know what I mean? It's just so amazing when you see everybody else around you winning. It is beautiful, and it just warms your heart too, you know. And even those family who are not like family, I'm grateful for their blessings too, like real kids here.
Yes, and so I'm now an auntie, official auntie.
You were an auntie from a long time.
Of course, I was, definitely. That's my first daughter. But yes, my brother and his wife welcomed Brielle in October, and I'm a proud auntie. And yes, in terms of even being proud, not just being proud of them as parents, but proud of them individually, because of the strides that they have made throughout the year. They have also migrated as well, and I know that, you know, migration for anybody can be difficult, but they're definitely
shares the movement.
But I am really happy that they've made this move in their life, and definitely proud. I know that there are a lot of things that are going to be coming.
You know, yeah, it's so amazing just to see people just grow and thrive and everything. Your brother and his wife, you know. Whilst we get close to wrapping this up, another thing that I've been grateful for is that, you know, I've kind of had my share of ups and downs as it relates to dating and relationships. And this year I just made a commitment in myself that I was going to not date. And I kind of have been on this trail for a while, but you know, when you bucket to you end up in one relationship and you feel like, okay, wake up, get up and catch your fall and move on. Yeah, that happened to me. But yeah, I made a commitment that I wasn't going to date, and I ended up not dating for the entire year. And I can tell you that 1 year hiatus, it did a lot for me. I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm going to wait to date. But you know, I'm grateful for the lesson learned, and I was so much more at peace with myself. I didn't have to worry about that thing. I have to worry about nobody hurt me in any way, shape, or form, because I was more at peace. And even now, to the fact, you know, that people will be people and people will hurt, but of course it's the degree of hurt that I'm willing to accept and all these things. So I'm grateful that I was able to do that this year.
And one thing I can say is that in being grateful, I was dating, but but for you, you know, putting a pause on dating also opened you up to experience so much more. Sometimes, you know, that time you'd have spent thinking about the other person. Not that it's not a good thing, right? But sometimes that extra time that you've dedicated to somebody, you dedicated it to you, and so you were able to grow in that way.
And you know, once I look at it, because a part of me thinks I am open to dating in 2024, but at this point I'm like, who's to tell? I'm giving God every aspect of that and just allowing Him to just work everything out. And whilst we're talking about giving God every aspect, you remember I got rebaptized this year. Not many people know or knew, but I recommitted my life to God this year, and it was off the premise that He's just done so much for me, and I'm just grateful to Him for everything that He has done, and you know, I just want to keep on pushing further with Him, because even this year I saw where I was just able to yield everything within what I wanted to control, and He was just saying, all right, I got you, no worries, and everything worked out even better than I thought it would, you know. So I'm just grateful for that, and as a result I just had to say, come on, if God's so good to me, why, you know, why not? So
why not leave everything to Him?
That's it. Is there anything else that you think you want to be grateful for?
I am grateful for the changes I have made in my self-confidence. You know, a lot of things.
Yes. You've come a far way. Nah lie, you've come a far way. You have.
A lot of things have happened that would, you know, push you down, but at some point I just started thinking about loving me more. And I think that came out more in my self-confidence. And I'm definitely grateful for that. Sometimes it's a struggle to push through and to think that you have certain obstacles and you can't overcome them. But you know, how do you grow if you don't push yourself past that, you know, that glass wall or that ceiling? How do you know that you aren't able to really overcome anything that you push yourself to achieve? And I have to say that though there are times where I have been afraid, no lie, I've been afraid, but I'm like, as you talk about God, I'm like, but God, you have shown me so much. Why am I afraid? You know, I can still go out there even in my fear and conquer this. And I think when I went to Bahamas, remember I made this video and I sent it to you one night, and she said, girl, you need to put this up on your YouTube page. I still have it now. Yes. But it reminded me that, you know, regardless of anything, go out there, because you can achieve. You definitely can achieve. Don't be fearful. And you spoke about being the same thing, basically being fearful of failure. Failure is always something that can be promised. But guess what? You never stay in that failure though. And you always grow.
Yeah, you won't. And you know, I'm happy that we've gotten all these lessons from 2023, because I don't know about you, but I know my 2024 is going to be the best year of my life. And I'm just looking forward to everything just working out, and for God to just do everything. I know, maybe, you know what's funny? I mean, when people used to walk around 2020, I said 2020 gonna be fit in here. You know, COVID came, and there were many persons who still didn't see that there were blessings even in COVID.
I saw so many.
Boy, I tell you that 2020 was the
I
best
saw
year of
so
my
many.
life. But yeah, I think 2024 has the opportunity to top that. And I mean, there's so much for us to be grateful for, and I'm going to encourage you as you go into 2024, just look at what you have to be grateful for, and please feel free to share in the comments what you're grateful for, because we would love to know. So
definitely
thank you for joining us, and yes, please ensure that you subscribe to both channels, Movemaker 876 and aleciaexperiences.
Click on the notification bell.
Click on the notification bell, because we're working on our YouTube thing in 2020.
Oh
yes.
In advance. Oh yes.
And of course, you can just join us on the exciting journeys that we've had, because I know there are lots of lessons to be learned, and you are going to love every second.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.